Okay, this is Internist conversation number 23. So this is an internal medicine doctor talking to me. And he says to me, here, let me get myself out of the way here. He says, Pete, you and Jeff Nelson are keeping the truth alive. Without you and Nelson, the legacy of McDougall, Kempner, Pritick, and Burkett, it would all be forgotten. They're trying to sweep it under the rug. I believe that God is working through you to keep this information available to the public and to the doctors who want to learn. And I said, yeah, the truth, it's a fragile thing. It takes effort to keep the truth alive. The high-fat phonies have pretty much taken over the internet for the topic of the vegan diet. And there's a lot of health coaches, but they don't have as much influence on, sort of popular thinking. You know, there's some international conference on nutrition as medicine next week run by Neil Bernard, and of course I wasn't invited. I've never been invited to a single nutrition conference, not one, okay? I've never been invited on the popular channels like Viva Longevity, Real Truth About Health. I know that Real Truth About Health promotes omega-3, so they would never invite me. Here, I'll just show you real quick the brochure or something. So here's the brochure for nutrition and medicine. Here, let me get myself out of the way. And they actually got somebody there from JAMA, Journal of the American Medical Association. You know, and it's next week. It's in D.C. I'd be a little scared to go to D.C. They don't like Christians very much over there. And you know, one of the reasons why is it that tyrants hate Christians? The reason is they can't control the Christians, okay? You can control all these atheists, all these Eastern countries. Their religions are godless. They're fake religions, okay? They don't have a God. They don't pray to God. You know, you pay them off, you intimidate them a little, they'll do whatever you tell them, okay? You can turn them into puppets pretty easy. You don't turn a Christian into a real Christian into a puppet, okay? You can turn some of these, wimpy lightweights into puppets, but you wouldn't turn somebody like me into a puppet, okay? So they don't like that. My allegiance is to Christ. I really don't care, okay? They could kiss my butt, all right? So anyways, let's get back to the conversation here. Okay, I said every day I see lots of promotions, all this high-fat stuff, olive oil, soy, flax, nuts, seeds, avocado, dark chocolate, all the other BS, MSG, all this nonsense in coffee. Internist. These high-fat diets are BS. They go against the Bible. In Leviticus 3:17, it says, you must not eat any fat or blood. There's nothing ambiguous about it. Leviticus chapter 3, verse 17, it says, you must not eat any fat or blood. Me. Then God said in Genesis chapter 1, verse 29, behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed, which is upon the face of the earth. It shall be food for you. I have given every green plant for food. Internist, yeah. It's like that lady, Dr. Genius, that Lorraine Day lady, what she said about the Bible. She quoted Exodus, and God said, if thou wilt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, and hear his commandments, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I brought upon the Egyptians, who I include here as low-carb paleos. For I am the Lord God who heals you. And I said, yeah, it's kind of like that. Basically, if you eat these low-fat, plant-based diets, you don't get any of the chronic disease. You don't get abdominal pressure syndrome. You don't get coronary artery disease. You don't get diabetes. You don't get hypertension. So you don't get cerebral vascular atherosclerosis. And you don't get, the vast majority of kidney disease. These are all the common diseases. And you're much, 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 much less likely to get cancer. These are all the common diseases that kill Westerners, okay? And then I said, yeah, in order to do the right thing, people need Christian ethics so that they will do what is right rather than go for the money. Like Genesis 1:29. I think that's Genesis 1:27 that said man is created in the image of God. Without that, the medical system will always choose money over the patient's interest. Internist, yeah, the Bible has much better medical advice than do the internal medicine textbooks like Harrison's or Cecil's.